You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Welcome, everybody, to the 2026 MLS Prediction Show. I am your host, Daniel Ganana, and alongside me, as always, the KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. It's an exciting time. I mean, I am just ecstatic. Week 1, baby, right around the corner.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Every season is fun, especially when you get into this prediction show, because everybody has. My favorite thing about the MLS is that everybody comes in kind of with a little bit of hope, right? Unlike some other leagues where oh, I'm just hoping that I get to play with the big boys again next year because I don't want to get relegated. Whereas in here, I'd say out of the 30 teams, I think that half of them legit think that, well, on a given day, maybe I can make a run, So I think that that's my favorite part about this league, and it makes it very interesting. But don't want to get too technical with that. We're here to talk predictions, bold predictions, MVPs, young players, playoff teams, wooden spoon candidates, all that. So we're going to cover all that in on this show. So last year, I did it, and Chris wasn't available, so I got Will to come on with me. I got Fabian to come on with me, and I was watching that episode back today, and I hit the top 4 teams in the East. I just did it in the wrong order. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, but they ended up being like flipped. But I got the top 4 teams right.
Yeah.
Will got a good one. He said whatever team, if an MLS team makes the Champions Cup final, they will also make the MLS Cup final, and they'll lose both those games, which I thought was a wild prediction because he ended up on the money with it with the Whitecaps. And then Dennis Lopez came on, and he was watching live, and he also said, shout out to you. Appreciate that. Dati, Colombia equals loser mentality. Yeah, for sure. All right. And then he had that on the money with the Whitecaps. So very interesting. So I look forward to looking back at this show at the end of the season to see how bad we got our guesses. But let's start with the one that everybody likes to talk about, MVP. 2026 MVP. Now, we're going to do this a little different because I think it's easy to say either Messi or Son, right? If Messi has a great year, Messi will probably get it. If Son has a great year, they'll probably give it to him just to, change it up because of voter fatigue, right? To split it up and instead of giving it to Messi. So we decided to go MVP candidate not named Messi or Son. So, because we do know that those are the 2 favorites because they're the 2 biggest names in the league. So if they have a worthy enough season, they'll get the award. So let's just think outside the box, Chris. And what do you think? MVP not named Messi or Son? Go.
So I think the MVP and the reason that I chose this person is because I think that they're going to make a crazy impact on this league. And Tati, this is for you. I think the MVP is going to be James Rodriguez. I think even though he's only going to play for 6 months, and yes,
that eliminates him immediately.
I didn't want to pick any. Well, it does, but I actually have a feeling that he's going to stick around. So I'm just going to throw his name in the bucket. I feel like he is going to be MVP, and I think that he came here. He came to the United States because he knows that he can be able to get into shape, and he has, state-of-the-art facilities over here, and he's going to be able to, get into playing in the United States. He's a fantastic player. And with the players that Minnesota has, I think he's going to light it up. So I'm going with James Rodriguez, and I don't care what anybody says.
Wow. That was a curveball. I was not expecting that. So shout out to you for the curveball. Wow. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I could match that. I'm gonna go Christian Espinoza. I think that he is probably the most underrated player in this league. I think in Nashville, he's gonna make a crazy difference, kind of like Evander did when he went to Cincinnati last year, where he was an MVP candidate. I think Christian Espinoza is gonna have a similar trajectory for Nashville next year, and the fact that he gets to spray the ball out to Honey Mukhtar and to Sam Surridge, I think that his assist numbers are going to go through the roof. He'll have double-digit goals, and I think that Christian Espinoza is going to be a dark horse for the MVP this year. James, though. All
I
right.
can see Christian Espinosa.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
look, in reality, I was gonna choose someone else because of the simple fact that Hamas is only confirmed to play 6 months.
I think that's what makes it the most
But
difficult,
I
right?
felt like going, like, for example, like, yeah, and I think I was gonna look. My original pick was gonna be Andres Dreyer, um, but the thing is, I feel like the impact that James Rodriguez is gonna be huge. I think it's gonna be great for the league, and I think that the impact he's gonna have on Minnesota is gonna be fantastic.
All right. So moving on. Golden Boot. Leader in goals for the season. Um, your thoughts on who might be the Golden Boot winner?
So I'm gonna go. So here's the thing, because of Christian Espinosa, I'm gonna go with Golden Boot being Sam Surridge.
Okay.
I think that Sam Surridge is gonna be the Golden Boot winner. And I mean, I don't know if we're at dark horse for that, but
We can do
I
a
think
dark
that the
horse for
dark
that. Go for
horse,
it.
yeah, I think that the dark horse is gonna be Betterame from Inter Miami. He was slamming goals with La Liga, and he's coming to serve a purpose on this team, and he wants eyes to be on him for bigger opportunities. So I think that he's going to be a dark horse, but Sam Surridge, I think, is going to be the Golden Boot winner.
Okay. I think there's a good chance that it's Bologna. One, because he gets a PK every 30 seconds. And also because on transition with Sun running down one side and David Martinez or Schaffelberg with his pace on the other side, I think Bologna is going to have plenty of opportunities. I think Bologna is a really good chance of getting it. And if I'm going to go dark horse, I'm going to go Milan Alowski from Philadelphia. He was balling with San Diego, ended up in Philadelphia the second half of the year. I think that he is a dark horse for Golden Boot this year. So that's my dark horse for Golden Boot.
It's a good pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid. I like that.
Yeah. There's
Now,
another one.
the
that
next
somebody
category
was-
that we have in line. Yeah,
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
say when we were doing the previews, we were doing with RSL Bros, and he sold me on Victor Olantuji. He like I started looking into this guy. I was like, maybe Diego Luna found his duo, his partner in crime. So that's another dark horse. Not really my pick, but out of all the preview shows we did, I think he was the guy that I was unfamiliar with, that I was sold most on. So just keep an eye out for that name, Victor Olantuji. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, that seems like it's going to be good. The next category is going to be the assist leader. Now, last season, I believe it was Messi that had the lead in assist. No?
I'd be lying to you if I told you. Yes. And
Yeah.
then
So
Andres
Messi
Dreyer
was the
second.
assist leader last season.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think in terms of assist leading, I feel like the best player that I can pick is going to be Christian Espinosa. It's either going to be him or Messi.
Yeah. I mean, that I was gonna go Espinosa also, just because
He's
that
going
was
to
my
have
pick
like
for
Sam
MVP.
Surridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went with him for my MVP dark horse, so that's an easy one. If I have to give you another one, Philip Zinkernagel. I think that, again, underrated with Kuipers and Bamba and everybody there. I think that trio is going to
That's
be really good.
fantastic.
Also, I think Zinkernagel is a dark horse for the assist leader of the year. But I'm with you, either Messi
Well-
probably or Espinosa.
Well, and if you think about it, again, we're talking about two players, and we're talking about players that are part of like a trio here. And we're starting to see sort of the pattern where you got these guys that are set up for success. Those teams are just going to be fantastic to watch. And Superman versus Batman 1103 is mentioning Sun as well. Yeah, I could see that because Boanga definitely finds himself in good spaces. And he's going to have Davi Martinez, who's going to go off on goals at some point as well. So,
All right. Best young player.
now, as far as like best young player, it's hard to sort of determine because are we talking about like a U22? Are we talking
U22 and under,
about
yeah.
like,
U22 and under is how the award
what's
is
the
awarded.
best U? Okay, so I would think, um, wow, it's tough as far as to be able to bring up a player for top 5 U22 in the MLS. I'd probably have to go. Wow.
If you
I
want, I'll
mean,
go
as
first.
far as youth, yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to go Owen Wolf from Austin. I thought that even though he was technically already a player on that team, I thought that that was big that he ended up staying because everybody said that he should have gone to Europe. U.S. fans were upset that he stayed instead of going to play for a team in Europe. And I'm going to go Owen Wolf. I think he's right at that borderline. I think he's like 21, 22 years old. So Owen Wolf, I would say, is my young player of the year. I think he's going to not only show up because of the fact that if he would have gone to Europe, who knows how many minutes he would play, but he stayed in the MLS so he can keep getting that playing time. And I think he's going to show out. So I'm going to go with that. And then I'll double that up with last year. I said Brooklyn Reigns. He didn't end up getting a lot of playing time. And this year he went to New England for $2 million. He got sold from Houston. He's finally going to start. I'm going to go Brooklyn Reigns as a dark horse for that also.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Toklamati. I have really high hopes for Charlotte and Toklamati, and I think that Toklamati is going to be perfect as far as a player in that sort of category. Um, I think that he is going to be super capable and great at the striker position, and especially with all the people that are around him. There's no way he's not going to have a successful season.
I think Silvetti's another good pick that I see a lot of people putting up.
Yeah, Silvetti could be a good pick as well.
All right, now
I could see
those
that
were
happening.
individual awards. Now we want to go to dark horse team. What team do you believe is a dark horse that this year might surprise people? Might end up maybe from bottom of the standings to top of the standings. So give me one for the East and one for the West.
So I'll give you one for the East first. And I don't know if it's fair because they made the playoffs, but they were at the bottom of the
Depends.
barrel
Where in
in
the
terms of
playoffs?
the playoffs.
Is it like the play-in?
So I'm gonna go with Chicago.
Okay,
So
eight
I'm gonna
seed.
go with
All right.
Chicago.
Okay.
So that's the team I'm gonna go with on the East. And as far as going with the West, I'm gonna go with Austin. I think the changes that Austin have made, and they were sort of in 6, so I don't know how much of a stretch that would be. But I think that they're going to be higher than 6th place in the coming season.
You're saying that they're going to be a contender, like a legit contender.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if dark horse counts because it's such a team that you expect to do well. I see somebody said it in the chat already, John. The Galaxy. I think they have a good roster. They added Klaus, like they added Hack, they added Glesnes. I think that I don't know if you consider them a dark horse. I think people expect them to do better already, right? They added Klaus, like I said. Like I think they expect them to do better. They still have Peck, they still have Painso. So I want to say the Galaxy because they were 14th in the West. They were fighting for the wooden
nowhere
spoon.
to go but up.
Right. So I feel like that's a fair pick for a dark horse. But because I don't know, I feel weird picking Galaxy, I'm gonna say Houston. I'm gonna say Houston. I
can
think
see
that
Houston. I'm not too fond of them.
Yeah, but Galaxy is the team that I really wanted to pick, and then Austin. I also because I think that Austin would be a top team in the West this year, like fighting for a top 3 seed. That's why I think that they're also a dark horse. So I'm with you. I would have said Austin and Galaxy. I'll say Houston, just because I think that they're going to be better than they were last year, and they might be fighting for a playoff spot, but they won't be top of the West. Whereas I expect LA Galaxy to be maybe top half, 5, 6 in the West, and Austin to be top 3. And then in the Eastern Conference, Toronto. I think Toronto invested some money. They just picked up Shallowy. I forgot how to pronounce his name. The left winger from
Shalaway.
Sporting KC, Shallowy from Sporting KC. I think Toronto's going to be much better this year, and maybe not top 3 or 4, but I think that they're going to make some noise. They'll be like the Nashville of this year, right? Because last year a lot of people expected a lot from Nashville, and they ended up making it all the way to the 6th seed. They ended up winning the U.S. Open Cup. So I think Toronto might surprise some people. So I'm going to say Toronto randomly jump up there. And I like the Chicago pick because they were 8th, and I could see them fighting for a top seed in the East. So I like your pick of Chicago, and I think Toronto also might surprise some people.
Well, I mean, SBC saying it's Toronto in the East. Book it, guys. And then AJ is saying Austin goes up for their new kits alone. So, look, I love the Austin kit and that green. By the way, I can't wait till we get to rank where we think they're going to sit in the standings.
All right, team that will flop. So, what team do you look at and you're like, they're going to flop, and people are expecting them to do well? Because, for example, I'll tell you last year,
yeah,
I said San Jose, and did they make the playoffs last year? They did not. They were the 10th seed. So
San
that
Jose
was
actually was in the 10th seed, but by like a point.
Right. So they almost made the playoffs, but that's the team that I would flop because there was so much hype going into the season. Atlanta would have been a good pick because they did flop, but I don't think anybody picked them to flop because everybody just assumed that they would do good. What team do you think is going to flop this year?
So first, I'm going to go with the East Side, and I think that a team that's going to flop is going to be the New York Red Bulls. I think the New York Red Bulls are going to flop hard. And then I went on the East Coast. I went ahead and I picked RSL. I think RSL is going to flop. Yes, they barely made it. Barely. And if it wasn't for the fact that Diego Luna exists on this planet, they wouldn't have sniffed anywhere near that area.
Okay. All right. In the East, I'm going to kind of go like follow your lead with, you said RSL, a team that consistently makes the playoffs. I'm going to go with a team that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think NYCFC is going to take a step back this year. And I think that they're going to be struggling to make the play-in. And they're consistently a good team, but I think this year they're going to take a step back. I'm going to say NYCFC is the team that flops in the East. And in the West, I'm going to say Minnesota. And that's going to contribute to James leaving by the end of the middle of the year. I think Minnesota is going to flop.
It's weird because I considered Minnesota just because of that. But I feel like Minnesota is I don't want to say stacked, because I feel like when you say stacked, you're like claiming all the players are great. But I feel like they're decent enough that they'll still maintain somewhere in the middle of the pack. And like I said, I mean, that's just my point. I'll get to something else later on.
Well, the thing with Minnesota is that they ended up getting a new coach also. So, like, that terrible that they played where they didn't care about possession. They were just a counterattack all the time. Like, they're going to switch that. It's going to look like a different team this year. So we'll see. I think Minnesota is going to take a step back. I think that they might struggle to make the playoffs. So I'm going to go Minnesota and NYCFC as my two teams that flop. All right.
All right.
Playoff teams.
So next up, Danny. Next up, we have who we think are going to be playoff teams on both the East and the West side. Now, where do you want to get started? And I'm going to give you what list I got.
Well, how deep are you going to go in this? Because I was going to go top 4. You're going to go 1 through 9?
I mean, I'm going to go. I'll do top 4. You want to do top 4? I did all 15. I might do a graphic and I might just throw it up on my page.
No, go 1 through 15, and then I'll give you. Let me hammer out my top 9. So while you do your 15, I was going to do top 4, but I'll do at least the top 9. Go for it.
Well, no, let's do top 4, and then if anything, we'll put our images up on the page so everybody can be able to check it out.
No, go, do it, man.
So we'll do that.
Got it. You got it.
Okay, fine. We'll do 9. We'll do 9. So I think the team that's going to be number 9 is going to be, and we're going to start with the East here. I think it's going to be Atlanta. Atlanta is going to sneak in at that number 9 spot. And number 8, I'm going to give it to the New England Revolution. The New England Revolution, I feel like they've added a good amount of pieces. Carlos Hill actually feels like they're doing something positive, and if he feels it, then the team's going to feel it. Orlando is where I put them at number 7. I feel like consistently they're just a really good team, and they're going to make it happen. And they have added some pretty key pieces as well. At number 6, I went ahead and I put Philadelphia Union. I feel like teams that have won the Supporter Shield kind of know, oh, it's nice to win the Supporter Shield, but this isn't the real deal here. And I think when it comes to Philadelphia, I think that I don't want to say the Supporter Shield curse, but I think that they're going to be sitting at 6. I don't think they're going to be as great as they were in the past season. Number 5, I got Cincinnati. Number 4, I got Chicago. So Chicago is going to be one of the 4 teams that would host the first round of the playoffs. Number 3, I placed Inter Miami at the number 3 spot.
Okay.
Number 2, I went ahead and I put Nashville at number 2.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And at number 1, I'm going to put Charlotte.
You and I have the same top 4.
Charlotte,
in different orders. But you and I have the same top 4.
I got Charlotte being number 1 in the East. Now I'll go ahead and do you want me to jump over to the West?
I'll tell you mine.
Or do you want to give me your top 4 on the East at least?
Well, I cooked up the rest. So I'll go from top to bottom. I have number 1 seed Nashville, number 2 seed Chicago, number 3 Miami, number 4 Charlotte, number 5 Orlando, number 6 Cincinnati, number 7 Philadelphia, number 8 Toronto, and number 9 Atlanta is how I got it.
So you and I agree we don't believe in Columbus.
No. Columbus could barely make it last year when they lost. They still had Nancy for a full season. They're about to implode. No.
Yeah, to me that's I went ahead and
does that count as a flop team?
So everybody, kind of, but the flop has to be big, no?
Yeah, they were almost out of the playoffs already last year. All right, go ahead.
So we'll jump over to the West then, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the West, I'll start off at number 9. I got the number 9 play-in game between Portland at 9 and the Galaxy at 8th. So that's my 9 and 8. At the 7th spot, I went ahead and I put Minnesota because I do think that there's going to be a drop-off mid-season, obviously. At the 6th spot, I went ahead and I put Seattle just because they're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the MLS. And it just seems like whatever happens over there could be people playing one-legged, and they're still going to sneak their way into the playoffs. Dallas, I think Dallas is going to be a contender. I think they're going to be sitting at the 5th spot. At the 4th spot, I went ahead and I put San Diego. At the 3rd, I put Austin. Austin, I think they stacked up pretty well this season. The 2nd spot, I got LAFC, and the 1st spot, I got Vancouver.
I'm having a hard time with my 8 and 9 in the West.
It was a struggle. It was a struggle for me too.
Right. So let me tell you. I'll tell you my top 7. Okay, so I think LAFC wins the West. I think the Sun and Bologna duo is going to be deadly, and I think they're going to win the West. I think Austin will come in at number 2. I think if you haven't taken notice of Austin, at least when Brandon Vasquez comes back, if he comes back in top form,
they're going
to be pretty nasty. Vancouver will be 3, Seattle 4, LA Galaxy 5, San Diego 6, Houston 7. I don't like Dallas. I don't like Minnesota. I want to say Portland.
Really? Minnesota played pretty consistently well last season.
I'm not even putting them in the playoffs.
Wow. I mean, that's
No,
criminal.
no, I'm not putting them in playoffs.
That's criminal.
I'm gonna say Portland and Dallas. I'll say Portland and Dallas in that playing game. Oh yeah, I don't believe in Minnesota
So
this
then
year.
let's get to the next.
Go for it.
So then let's get to the next category then. Wooden spoon. Who do
All
you
right.
have winning the wooden spoon? I'll tell you who I got.
It's probably gonna be the same thing.
I got Montreal winning.
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know why I didn't think of Minnesota. Montreal. Sorry, I said Minnesota because I see somebody saying stop disrespecting
Yeah, I
Minnie.
got Montreal winning that.
I constantly give Minnesota credit, and they have James. I would love for him to do well, but I don't believe it. They lost St. Clair, they lost
yes.
Ludd, they lost their coach that made them good. Like I don't know, I don't believe in Minnesota right now. Anyway, and maybe they'll prove me wrong. You know, let's see. So I got KC. I think KC has lost and they haven't gained. Like, what have they done?
Ooh, that's a good one.
KC, terrible. Like, I don't see
That's a good
what
one.
they've done. I don't know. Like, if there's like, what team has done worse than them? Like, they were bad last year and they've done nothing to improve their team. And if somebody can enlighten me, maybe it's something I missed. Maybe I missed something. But they just lost. They just lost their left winger. What's his face again? I always forget how to pronounce his name. Shallowy.
Shallowy, yeah, Shallowy.
They allowed
Shallowy.
They allowed 70 goals last year, by far the worst of any team. Like that team was a disaster, and they haven't gotten better. So I'm gonna say KC wins the wooden spoon, possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna go KC.
Well, with KC, I watched the preview that you did with KC, and they literally got a bunch of nobodies. Like they lost a couple people, and then they just got a bag of nothing.
And John Paul makes a good point. It's going to be the East because the East is stacked. So whoever the bottom is, the East is just going to start kicking them in the face every time they play against them. Yeah, Montreal doesn't look very good right now.
No, they don't. Are you kidding me? I mean, you have no attack. I mean, other than Owusu.
You know what? Now that shout out to John Paul for saying that the East is stacked. I look at the East right now, and I told you what teams I thought we're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah,
but then when I look at the teams that technically wouldn't make the playoffs based off of my list, I have NYCFC, which I mean historically a good team. Like even if they don't make the playoffs, and they might, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong and they make it. They won't be far down. Like if they don't make it, they'll be like 10th. Like so, NYCFC.
I have them down as 10th.
Right. Well, it's this. Eventually, somebody has to be left out, right? Like not every team can make it. So I have NYCFC out, but that's a solid squad historically. Columbus, they're a solid squad historically. The Red Bulls are consistently a solid squad.
No, New England 14th. They're right above Montreal for me.
New England has some pieces. They got Brooklyn Reigns. Like I said, I think he's going to kill it in the midfield. You have DC United. They signed. Well, they got Sean Johnson. They got Ty Baribo. Like they added some pieces. So like, yeah, the East is stacked. Like, who do you have on the bottom outside of Montreal? Who do you have at 14? Now that you did the whole list,
I had the Red Bulls at 14. I had DC at 13. I had Toronto at 12, and then I just mentioned earlier Columbus at 11.
Wow. See, I was Bob was on for the Red Bulls preview, and he said that he thinks that that they could end up in the 5th or 6th seed.
I mean, bless Bob's heart.
The West, on the other hand, I think like what teams like Kansas City's gonna suck. St. Louis is gonna suck. Colorado, I don't know what Colorado's doing. They have Navajo. Who else did they have? They is it Dante Sealy that they picked up?
Yes.
Dante Sealy. Yeah.
I mean, there's been teams that have made some good acquisitions, but then there's teams that have lost a lot of players. Like, I mean, for example, like you just brought up the Red Bulls, like they lost Sean Nealis, right? He was traded to DC United.
We got the teams right here. If you want to look at them, some of them as we talk, like the Red Bulls right here. They have Choupo-Moting. Oh, that's right. They got Cade Cowell. I forgot that they picked up Cade Cowell. That's right. How did I forget that? He's gonna be a baller.
Yes.
That's a player
That's the
that can
best player
surprise some
that they
people.
were able to pick up. Yep.
Yeah.
And then
he
look,
might surprise people.
and you anticipate Forsberg to make a pretty big impact. So I get it.
Look at this. What is this? Montreal.
Yeah, I
Jesus
mean, now
Christ.
what is that? Oh, it's the Montreal Owusus. That's it.
Yeah. So it's gonna be tough sledding
Now,
for some teams.
Wooden Spoon, since you already have the team up there, that's Montreal for me. You already mentioned your Wooden Spoon. Who's gonna be, I guess, your surprise player? Because
a player that surprises.
For me, I'd say the surprise player for me is gonna be Musa for Dallas. Because now he's finally going to be able to play in a way where the team is structured without thinking about Lucho Acosta, and it's his team now. Essentially, is a big year for him. I know that he's trying to play as well as he can to make his national team. I think that Musa is going to be a player that's going to surprise a lot of people.
Oh my God. I don't have one off the top of my head. A player that will surprise some people.
Well, I'll tell you, aside from, well, go ahead and think about that, marinate on that, because the next one is a player disappointment. And I think that you and I can mutually agree that the player disappointment is going to be Mirto Uzuni for Austin.
I don't expect anything from that guy. I don't think many people do.
Think
so
he's
I
going to be
a
huge disappointment.
All right. Okay. So I'll give you my disappointment. I think Ty Baribo. I think people are going to expect a lot from him in DC, and I think that he's going to flop over there.
That's a good one.
So I'm going to go Ty Baribo as a disappointment. As a surprise. What's that kid's name from Portland? Was it Kelsey?
You got some players.
Let me look at Portland. What's Portland?
Bring up the starting 11.
Kelsey. I think that Kelsey. I remember I watched him in Portland. I thought that he was pretty nice when I've seen him play. Off the top of my head, as you can tell, I wasn't able to prepare for the show. I thought I was going to have more time today. But Kelsey from Portland. I'll stick with that unless something else can pop up.
I mean, he's good because I think
I'm trying to think of people that are surprised that people aren't thinking about.
I mean, I would say Rothrock. I think Rothrock is going to be a player that's going to surprise a lot of people.
Rothrock isn't even going to start this year, though.
Well, according to MLS's. Yeah, well, according to MLS's starting thing, I think Rothrock is going to start for Seattle, but I think he's going to be fantastic.
I mean, Latte, if he ends up playing well, that would be a huge surprise.
Yes. Well, I mean, is it a surprise, though? He came over for like $470 gajillion and 7 Home Depot stores.
Yeah, but after the year he had last year, I think a lot of people weren't like high on him.
Well, those are my player surprises and disappointment. I'm ready to give some bold predictions.
Go for it.
You put down bold predictions for the East and a bold prediction for the West. Now, my bold prediction is for the East, I feel like Charlotte is going to win the Supporters' Shield. So that's my bold prediction for the East side. I'm big on Charlotte this season, dude. I see
that.
Charlotte.
That was me last year, and then I had to eat my words, so I'm not doing it again. Okay.
Oh man, it's tough.
All right, bold prediction.
You want me to give you my West?
Bold prediction? Yeah.
So my West bold prediction is kind of part of my MVP. James Rodriguez. I feel like he's gonna stay here. I feel like he's going to complete the 6 months. He's going to play the World Cup. And he's going to be like, you know what? Like, this is, I found my form. I'm playing good for a club now after so long. And I feel like he's going to stick it out. Wait till the season is over and then go ahead and ship out or retire.
Okay. Bold prediction. I predict that Luis Suarez is going to retire in the summer. He won't play out the full year. I think that he'll see that he's not getting a lot of playing time because he's now the backup, and he will retire early. So that's one bold prediction. The second bold prediction is that Bologna leaves in the summer also and doesn't finish the season with LAFC.
Ooh, that's huge. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That
And I'll
would be
give you an
crazy.
overall bold prediction.
No.
2 MLS teams make it to the final of the Champions Cup.
Oh, that's going to be crazy. That would be actually pretty nice.
It'll be the first time it ever happens. So that's my overall bold prediction. 2 MLS teams will make it to the final of the Champions Cup this
Now,
year.
I want to bring something up here. I want to bring a comment because John Paul's saying, Chris is on a gummy. Who did they sign to make you so big on them? Now, as far as like signing is concerned, look, they maintained and got, look, they have Luca De La Torre. Pep Biel's coming back after recovering from an injury. You have Toklamati, who was pretty good towards the end of the season. Coen Vargas, I love him. One of my favorite players. Wilfred Zaha, which hopefully he can be able to learn not to get red cards. They maintain their defense. They got Kessler. And they still have Ream back there. Like, this team is solid with Kalina at goalie. You guys are wild.
Okay. Look, I like it. I like it. Trying to think of any other bold predictions that I could think of right now. Because then they're tied to awards, and we already went over awards.
Well, you know, I'm going to tell you what my bold...
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say I had another player disappointment, and I was going to say that Werner is going to have a terrible season because everybody decided to leave San Jose the moment that he signed. But then I felt like that was a little drastic because San Jose is going to be garbage this year, right?
Yeah, I think that they might not be very good. I'll give you another. Oh, we didn't do goalies. If you were going to pick goalie of the year.
You know, it's weird because goalie of the year, I would have gone with whoever was probably, I'd say, I don't know, historically, the team that allowed the least amount of goals. In the West, the team that allowed the least amount of goals was Vancouver. So they were the best defensive team in the West. And in the East, the best defensive team was essentially Philadelphia. So I would say maybe Andre Blake. I was predicting that. I was saying that Andre Blake, I think he's going to have a huge season. But Philadelphia has lost a couple people defensively as well. So,
I mean, that's usually how that award goes, right? Like Philadelphia, Andre Blake, Vancouver. I forgot his name starts with a T. I forgot his name right off the top of my head. I can't remember for some reason. And then Minnesota was third with Dane St. Clair, so he got the award, right? Like you have one of the top defenses.
Yeah,
you win that. I think Drake Callender is a candidate for that award this year if Minnesota can keep that up. Now, a dark horse, Andrew Thomas.
Takaoka,
thank you.
Andrew
Thomas from Seattle. I think that there's a serious chance that he is up for that award. I think that he is going to be a difference maker for Seattle. And I think not enough people are talking about him. So, I mean, you move right to the bench. You move right to the bench. It has to be for somebody that's worth it. So I'm going to say Andrew Thomas is going to make himself a household name. All right, Chris, I think we've hit the point, unless you can think of any other bold predictions. MLS Cup final. Do we get the
So the
MLS
MLS
Cup
Cup
that everybody
final,
wants?
I think so. I think it's going to be Inter Miami versus LAFC. That's and it sucks to say because like I don't want to be biased towards Inter Miami, but at the same time, like I think factually we have to speak, and it's I don't see any other teams playing the finals except Inter Miami and LAFC, unless it's a rematch with Vancouver and Inter Miami. I don't see any other team taking Inter Miami out on the East. I don't see that, and that's without any biasness.
I know. I think I'm sure that's like the easy choice, right? That's why we said like, oh, MVP, don't pick Messi or Son, right? Because it's the easy choice, and I think LAFC versus Miami is the easy choice. And I'm gonna go also Miami, Miami LAFC. But let's do in a world where those two don't make it, which other teams do you think make it? And before we do that, John said, Danny, do call-ins for the watch along on Saturday. I'll call and show the atmosphere of the Coliseum for sure. And for those that aren't aware, we're going to do the watch along on this channel at Battered MLS Fans. We're going to do a watch along for that game, first big game of the season, probably the biggest game of the year. So we want to make sure we do that because it's big time. And MLS Cup final. So MLS Cup final. And Mike V saying New England versus Houston. That would be terrible. Miami versus Minnesota. That's a hot take from SBC. I don't see it, but maybe. Soccer Daddy saying Miami versus San Diego.
Still here.
All right. So hypothetically, let's say for whatever reason, somebody says Seattle, Atlanta. That would be interesting. Let's say Miami and LAFC get knocked out and they don't make it. What is your second team that you would say possibly makes it outside of Miami and LAFC? Because like I said, I'm sure that's going to be the popular choice across everybody.
Nashville versus Vancouver.
Okay. I like that.
I think Nashville with the team that they have on paper, if there was no Inter Miami that existed, I think that they'd mop the floor offensively with everybody in the East. And Vancouver, I think that they're a solid enough team with enough depth that they'll be able to make it all the way to face off against Nashville.
I'm tempted to go Nashville, but this is what I'll say, and I'll play it out for you. Ready? Nashville, like Chicago. Surge. No. Nashville, Chicago, Eastern Conference Finals.
I see you cooking.
Yeah. I think that would be a fun with the storylines with Greg Berhalter and his predecessor, which didn't get the job. I think that would be a fun thing. Triple G, you got VJ Callahan. It would be fun. So I think those two in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then Chicago makes this. You said Nashville, I'll go Chicago. So Chicago in the final, and I'm going to go Chicago in the final against Seattle. I think Seattle finally gets over that hump because they're consistently good, and there's some people that hate on Seattle. I'll say Seattle just because I don't want to say Vancouver again. So I'm going to go Chicago, Seattle if we don't get Miami, LAFC, which I think we'll end up getting anyway. But if we don't, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
All right. Chris, any more bold
Good
predictions? A U.S. Open Cup prediction. That one's hard for me. I don't know. I don't even know who's playing in it, so that's why it's hard for me.
I mean, who? Yeah, I was just about to say, who the hell is playing in the U.S. Open Cup?
We could look
U.S. Open Cup schedule. Let me see. I'm going to look up the U.S. Open Cup schedule. Go to ussoccer.com. And I mean, I don't even know. The Richmond Kickers? I don't know.
I heard they're good.
Are they? Are they? Richmond Kickers. I mean, I don't know. You heard they're good? Who the hell are the? I mean, I've heard of them. Richmond Kickers. Let me see. Who the hell
while you do
are
that,
the Richmond Kickers?
So since you're doing that, while you look up the Open Cup and see what MLS teams are a part of that, I'll do Champions Cup. And I said my bold prediction is that 2 MLS teams will be in the final for the first time. 2 MLS teams will be in the final of the Champions Cup, CONCACAF Cup. Now, when you look at the brackets, you have Miami on the right side. They'll probably end up playing against Nashville next round, and then against Club America. So I think it'll be Miami on one side, because the only Liga MX teams that are competition are America and Tigres. So I'm going to predict Miami on the right side. And on the left side, you have San Diego, Galaxy, and LAFC. We might get that Sun Messi final twice this year.
That might happen.
You might get it. You know how you got the Vancouver Miami thing twice? You got it in the semifinal of the Champions Cup, and then you got it in the final MLS Cup. You might see LAFC versus Miami in the final of the Champions Cup and MLS Cup.
By the way, the Richmond Kickers. Okay.
So instead of finding out who the Open Cup teams were, you decided to look up the Richmond Kickers.
Yeah, this is now the Richmond Kickers podcast. And they were first in USL League One, which I don't even know what is that. Is that the first league? Is that the second league? I think that's the second league. So they're not even in the championship. So they are in League One, which is technically League Two.
All right. So the 16 teams that are in the Open Cup
average attendance of 4,000.
That's not bad.
What the hell is that?
That's not bad.
4,000 in Richmond, Virginia.
Miami
Can't find
FC,
any more fans.
1,000.
No, Miami FC is like 17 people.
So the 16 teams in the Open Cup are Atlanta United, Austin, Charlotte, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus, DC United, Houston, Minnesota, New England, NYCFC, Red Bulls, Orlando, Portland, San Jose, and St. Louis. So, I mean, I don't know what the bracket or anything looks like, but just based off of these names and how hyped we are about Austin, Charlotte, and Chicago, right? You, Charlotte, me, Austin, and I think both of us, Chicago. I think one of those three teams could take it.
As long as they don't face Sacramento Republic, I think we're good.
I think Austin could do it. They made it far last year. Did they make it to the final last year?
They made it all the way to the finals.
Yeah. And they lost at home, no? To Nashville?
They lost to Nashville.
At home. Yeah, I think
Austin
that
was the battered moment by the
Yeah. So I think that would be Austin's redemption. They're going to want it. So yeah, I'm going to say that Austin wins the Open Cup this year. They made it to the final last year, lost it at home. I think they win it this year. New England, Austin in the final of the Open Cup. Yeah.
Mike B's.
That's what I'm So we have
see that.
Our Open Cup final and possible winners. We got our Champions Cup. I think it'll be 2 MLS teams, which I think will be crazy. LAFC, Miami. We have our MLS Cup final, either Miami, LAFC. And if those two can't make it, I had Seattle and Chicago. You had Nashville and
Nashville and Vancouver.
Okay. So, yeah, a fun season coming up. 2026 MLS predictions. It'll be fun to go back at the end of the season, see how wrong we were about so many things, because I'm sure we were. But yeah, that's it. I don't think there's anything else that we have to cover here, unless anybody here in the chat wants to chime in with a bold prediction or a question. I think that's it, Chris, unless you have anything else for the cause.
No, that's it. I think we went over a lot of good topics. I think that we covered a lot, and I think this is, like you said, it's going to be fun to reference off of. I wonder if James is going to stay, and if he is, I have a clip that plays for the rest of eternity. Wow. Thanks,
All right.
Soccer Daddy. Just says, Chris, every prediction will go wrong. Let's see. Give it 9 months, Soccer Daddy. Just sit there while all my picks brew, and then I'm going to slap it on your face.
What kills me is that I know we're going to end the show, and I'll be like, God damn it, I had this bold prediction, and I forgot to. So I'm like racking my brain on
what's going to happen.
Because I hate when that happens, but I know I'm going to think of something. So let's see, just quick, just gas bagging at this point. Tata Martino, will he be a success in Atlanta?
Yes.
Okay.
More successful
I'm
than
gonna go
Atlanta was last season.
LA Galaxy. We think that they'll be much better than last year. And yes,
Yes.
San Jose is going to be a dumpster fire, and Timo Werner is going to regret going.
Absolutely. I mean, they were in 10th place. There's no way they're going to rise higher than 10th. They lost half their team.
Diego Luna is going to be one of the top players in the MLS, a household name if he isn't already. And Ola Tunji is going to be a dark horse for the Golden Boot, is what I said. That's what I have as RSL. Anything else you want to add?
I think that they're going to be one of the worst teams in the West.
Dallas will keep playing in its
Sorry,
makeshift
Utah.
stadium without any seats, and Peter Musa will be gone by the summertime.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's gone.
Phil Neville doesn't make it to the end of the season, although they have a good attacking trio of Velde, Kelsey, and Anthony.
Listen, I got them in the playoffs, okay? I got them in the 9th seed. So that keeps his job. Okay.
All right. Dante Sealy will ball out with Navajo and Yapi.
I mean, yeah, I don't think that they're going to do better than they did last season, but yeah, I could see that.
I think they're going to take a step back also. LAFC, Boagna has a chance to lead the Golden Boot. Dayo Martinez is going to ball. Schaffelberg with his pace is going to ball. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Estaqui, the guy that just came over from Portugal. Everybody's talking so highly about this guy. This team is going to be one of, if not the best team in the league throughout the regular season.
I can't wait to watch them because I think that they actually kind of got better, which is scary.
No, I mean, they have Tillman's dog.
And Soccer Daddy saying that LAFC is going to win 0 trophies.
Austin, I think Austin is going to be really good. I love the Jaden Nelson addition, Facundo Torres addition. Owen Wolf staying is like an addition. It's just a solid team overall. And then when Brandon Vasquez comes back, I think that they're going to be great. So this is my dark horse to win the West. St. Louis is going to be terrible.
No, wait, go back to Austin real quick. I just want everybody. I want everybody to know about Austin. They were the 6th seed this past season, and they were the only team that had 30. They had 37 goals for. Okay, everybody else that was in the top 9 had 41 and higher. No, I'm sorry. Real Salt Lake at number 9 had 38 goals. So that means Austin had 37, and they just added firepower.
You talking about defensively?
No, I'm talking about offensively. They added goals.
Right, but they weren't good offensively last year, then you're saying.
Exactly.
St. Louis is going to suck. Montreal might get the wooden spoon. San Diego, although they still have Dreyer, they're forced to have Tricky Lozano still there for some reason. They just can't figure it out. He wants to stay. They don't want him there anymore. That's going to get messy. Verskov is probably the second most underrated player behind Espinosa in the league. And then all of a sudden they picked up Lewis Morgan. So if he could stay healthy, I think that team's going to stay competitive. It won't be as good as last year, but it'll stay good. NYCFC, I think, will take a step back without Alonso Martinez. They have Thales Magno back, but I think he's underwhelming. They're still relying on Maxi Morales, which I think he's officially 57 years old. I just don't see it this year for them.
He's going to play until he's like 80.
Yeah, and he gets shorter every year, which is wild. Philadelphia Union, your thoughts on your team, the Philadelphia Union, because I know you love them.
Well, that's my second favorite team. I feel like Indiana Vasilev is going to lead this team into glory. In all seriousness, I love Daniel Jean-Jacques. I think that he is a fantastic player for this team. He is great defensively. He moves the ball well offensively. He's fast. He has great pace. and they still have Blake. He's a great goalkeeper.
Well, I still think that Milan Ilowski is going to be a dark horse for a Golden Boot. I mean, he won't get anywhere near what the
Yeah.
top guys are going to get there, but he's going to get in the high teens, and you're going to hear his name a lot more often, kind of like Alonso Martinez last year. That's what I think. Miami, I think that they have a
can
lot
see
of
that.
pressure because they have to be the best, right? Or else people are going to kill them, but they're not going to be going for the oh God. Yes, they did. They're not going to be going for the shield, so I think that
I've been
they
bringing up
will.
Kai Kamara. I've been bringing up Kai Kamara, like not just Miami. I think any team that needs a striker needs to call that guy immediately. He will go over for a quick check and a couple goals.
And Miami has no depth at wing, so if their wingers don't pan out, they're in trouble. Cincinnati, Evander running the show. They lost a bunch of people, and then they kept
still have
Denke.
Robinson and Mamiazga.
They don't have any more fullbacks though.
And Denke's going to be out of here by the midseason, maybe too.
Columbus, Abu Ali. I don't know. I don't know anything about that guy, to be honest with you. So I'm not even going to act like I do. Diego Rossi's still a baller, but they lost Nancy. And with Nancy, they barely made the playoffs. So without him, we'll see how that looks. But I have no confidence that this team can figure it out. Maybe I'm wrong. Gazdag has been a bust since arriving in Columbus. Maybe he'll do better without Nancy. I don't know. Max Arsene is great. Zawadski is the Swiss Army knife. So go ahead.
Zawadski.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Columbus, I think, honestly, and I think they're going to do terrible. I don't think that they're going to be great. But Abu Ali only played 5 games because of injuries. He had 3 goals, and he's a baller. So I do think that he's going to pan out well for Columbus Crew. But you have Gazdag. I don't know how he's going to fit into this team. I mean, Diego Rossi, but at some point there's gonna be a decline at some point with him. Max Arsene, I really like Max Arsene, so I think that he's gonna be great.
You have Chicago, which we're both very high on. They lost Brian Gutierrez. They added a lot.
So good.
I think the attacking trio up top is underrated. I think Brady is one of the best.
Still have Chris Brady.
Yeah, one of the best keepers in the league. You got he's just a good, solid team. I think they're going to do great. Nashville, I think Christian Espinosa is the dark horse for MVP. I think with Serge and Mukhtar running aside him, he's going to be absolutely balling. And Nahar behind him, I think that team's going to be scary also. I think that they were a year ahead last year. I wasn't expecting them to be so good last year. So shout out to BJ Callahan for doing what he did. And I think that this year they're going to be even better. I think they're going to be one of those top 2 seeds. The Red Bulls. I forgot about Cade Caldwell. He's going to be fun to watch. He's a motor. You know how they call RDP El Motorcito?
Yes.
Cade Caldwell is that guy also.
Motorcito. Yep.
So I think he's going to be fun to watch.
I don't believe in the Red Bulls this year. I don't believe that they're going to do that well. But I feel like they have the players enough that they can be able to kind of muster up a pretty good season. But I don't think that they're going to do that great.
What about Charlotte? Your second favorite team again. Your second favorite
I got them winning. They're my third favorite MLS team. Okay, I got my order. Okay, let's keep it that way. And they're winning the Supporters Shield.
Okay. I have Nashville winning the Supporters Shield. I don't know if I mentioned that.
No, you didn't mention that. Okay,
yeah, I think I have.
That's
I think
good. Nashville, I have as my second. I have them as second place in my rankings.
I'm high on Nashville this year. You got DC United. I think Ty Bariba was going to be the disappointment of the year. I don't think that he's going to give you what everybody expected. Yeah. He's a poacher. He needs service, and I don't know who's going to give him that service.
Break.
I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'm dead wrong. Right. That's what these predictions are for. Right. So you can get pie in your face. Can't wait to have Danny Brams on the show. Yeah. Atlanta.
so much capability out of Atlanta.
Really? I don't know.
And I got them in the playoffs by the hairs of the chinny chin chin, 9th place.
I have him in ninth place also. Almiron, a year older, a year slower. Latzelat, another bum year. Birichuk, another year where everybody's kind of wondering what he's still doing there. Um, and then Tata Martino just folding his arms,
Yeah.
right, like he does in the sideline. That's what he does. That's his stance. I don't
Yes.
believe in Atlanta.
But
I
he's
think they'll be
Tata,
better than
though.
last
He
year.
could do that.
But yeah. Orlando. And remember they added Dorsey, so they don't have to worry
Orlando's
about that
made some
Scrub anymore.
spicy additions. Yes.
Ojeda, I
Oh,
think
but
that he
who's
was
a speedster though? Oof.
Ojeda, in my opinion, should have been an MVP candidate. I think that this team is going to be good. They have Crepeau at keeper. I'm sorry, I was never a fan of Gillespie. I understand that back in the day he used to be okay with Peru, but I think Orlando's going to be good this year also.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think if I'm not mistaken, Martin Ojeda had an injury this month. That
Oh, did he?
I don't know if he missed some of the preseason. Yes. I don't know if he missed the whole preseason or a couple preseason games, but I do know that he did have an injury. So there was some concern about that. I do feel that still Orlando is going to be competitive, but I don't know. I mean, Ojeda is a freaking great player.
Soccer Daddy said Mascherano will win Coach of the Year. Who do you have for Coach of the Year, Chris?
I think Tata's going to be Coach of the Year because to get Atlanta up from where they're at, they're going to give all the credit to Tata Martino.
Dude, they'd be moving up like 2 spots. 5 spots.
Where are they? I was just looking.
14.
Yeah, they were in like the 14th spot.
But you have them going to 9th.
Yeah, but they're still a playoff team. I mean, you literally the only reason they're 14th is because they got 2 extra points than DC United.
I'm gonna go BJ Callahan because I think that Nashville wins the Supporter Shield and that gives him the Coach of the Year. And Greg Berhalter a close second because he's gonna have Chicago up there also, which I know is gonna
They
chap
had
a lot
2
of
draws
US
extra.
fans. Vancouver. I mean, Vancouver is
they
solid.
haven't-
They haven't really changed much. Like they're still
They
gonna be solid.
maintain.
They lost depth.
Yeah,
but they're still going to be great. So Vancouver will be good like last year. Toronto, I mean, they added some pieces. They added Shalloway today. Mihailovic, your favorite player's favorite player. Jonathan Osorio. You got Kurt. Like they got Walker Zimmerman. I think Toronto is going to be that team that surprises. Yeah, maybe they won't be top of the table, but I think that they're going to go from where they were, which was an afterthought the last couple of seasons, to a playoff team. So that's where I think Toronto will be. Your boys, New England.
Yeah,
what do you think
I'm
about
with
New England?
Toronto being good. I mean, and then you got. I mean, New England is New England. I think that they're gonna do great. And then now they got rid of what's this guy? Geez, man, I just had the name on the tip of my tongue. He got traded to another team, the striker. Shoot. Well, now Campana's going to be the lone striker. So that's it. It's game over. They're making the playoffs.
Turkman is supposedly a striker, but they're going to play him out wide so that Campana can play as the striker.
Well, he plays wing. Yep.
Yeah, but supposedly he's also a striker.
I think that they're going to be a good team.
Yeah. All right, Minnesota.
Tranquilite. There we go.
I think that Minnesota takes a step back. I know that Connor from the Loons podcast told you that this formation was out of whack. It's not going to look like this. Thank God, because when I saw this, if they have James Rodriguez playing up top, I think this team's going to be terrible.
That's the dumbest thing ever.
So, yeah, no, I think Minnesota's going to take a step back. You have Seattle, which is basically the Pittsburgh Steelers of the MLS. You have Rothrock here in starting lineup, but he'll be coming off the bench because Pariolo will
I was going to
back.
put Ferreira as the biggest disappointment in the season.
I think he might have a bounce back year. Remember how Higuain won comeback player of the year for sucking? I think Ferreira might win comeback player of the year.
Well,
All right.
I was
we
gonna
got
put him
Houston.
as like the most disappointing player of the season.
Houston, I think, like I said,
Sorry,
they're
the delay.
going to be one of my surprise teams. Bogush, Miglin, we got Ponce. This team's going to be really good in the attack. I don't know how the defense is going to stack up, but I think that
Take
we
away
have a
Dorsey
good chance.
now.
Whoa. Again, we go based off of what we hear from the people that watch these teams all the time. And from what Joe told us from Bayou City, he said Dorsey sucks. It's basically what he said in layman's terms. He's like, I'm kind of glad he's gone. He sucks.
Yes, he did.
So there you go. And then we end with our wooden spoon champion, Sporting KC. And there's not much to say here.
What a disaster.
So we went through our
Jovic
topics.
is just crying in his room every night.
Yeah, he might as well just team up with Timo Werner somewhere because those two are going to be just sad.
Yes.
So we went through our topics. We literally went through all 30 teams, just a quick hitter. I don't think there's anything else we could do for a prediction show. I think we covered all our bases.
Yeah, I think we did. And I mean, look, Dorsey isn't bad. Listen, Houston thinks he's awful. They were literally okay with him just leaving.
Yeah. So who is the defender of the year? Oof. I don't know.
I mean, at this point, the defender of the year is I think honestly, I think Robinson is gonna come out as a really good defender this season.
Miles Robinson? I don't know.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I'd be just throwing a random name out there just to throw it out there. But if that's what you want, I'll say Mo Falls, the kid from St. Louis, just because I've heard so much about him over the last couple days. But I have no idea. That's just me spitballing. I have no idea who's going to win Defender of the Year. All right, Chris, I think that wraps it up. Wiseman, you got here just in time to hear us sign off. But make sure that you rewind because we talked a lot of crap about your boys in Columbus. So I want you to hear that. Any final words there, Chris?
No spoilers in the chat, guys. Let him rewind the whole way and wait until we talk about Columbus.
All right. If you're listening on audio, we appreciate you listening to the end. Please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. And we'll be back on Saturday night for the watch along. So make sure that you tune in for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the show, and comment because we would love to hear. Maybe you don't want to fill in all of these, but we would love to hear some of your predictions for some of these topics, and if not all of them, because I'm really curious what other people think and what you think of ours. Because last year I was pretty on the money with a lot of them. This year I came in a little more unprepared, so I don't know if I feel as confident. And then Chris's mic is working finally. Yeah, it is. So I appreciate everybody that was in the chat. You guys are the best part of the show.
But you know what? I do the show with Danny, and my connection is garbage now.
Oh, okay. And shout out to Chris's new goggles, yeah. But apparently he still has 20/20 vision. So for those of you that joined us on La Ventanita on Friday morning, we could talk about that then. Appreciate everybody. Like I said, like and subscribe.
Too.
He beat diabetes. Catch us on Saturday night for the watch along. And until the next one, have a good one.